Welcome to the Self Reality Podcast, a show where we like to talk all things reality TV, the good, the bad, and everything in between, and all of our special feelings about them. I'm your host, Angie, and today we are talking Survivor Season 49, Episode 8, and here to talk about it with me is my brother, Nick Hanlon, podcaster, great guy. How's it going, Nick?
Cheers to all the biters out there. Oh, that's not the.
That's
Cheers.
not it. Cheers, everybody.
I went sock
Um,
shopping today. I bought
Oh.
Ralph Lauren socks. if
That's,
Anybody was
you're
wondering.
fancy. You're very fancy.
They're very comfortable. None of the zippers work, so I didn't buy them. Otherwise,
Okay.
go on.
Okay. Thank you. So before we get going, and after hearing about Nick's shopping excursions, be sure to like and subscribe here. Would really appreciate it. Hit that notification button while you're at it. And then head on over to Nick's podcast. First one, Kayfabe Wrestling Talk, where
That's
wrestling,
me.
which is Nick, where Nick and Matthew Barnaby talk about wrestling the way it should be talked about.
Matt's a do-gooder dick, just an FYI, everybody.
Okay, perfect.
He's a do-gooder.
Thank you.
I've been drinking a little bit. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so it doesn't show at all. And then, speaking of drinking, also go on over to Nick's other podcast called The Dirty Glass Podcast, Booze Reviews for the Unrefined, where Nick and Denny and guests come, drink drinks, and rate them.
Segway, good one.
That's right. Like and subscribe. Let's get into this episode because, in my personal opinion, this was the best episode so far of the season. It was just jam-packed. There was so much chaoticism, not a word, but you know what I mean.
They were moving, they were shaking.
Yeah, it was
They were
a lot.
talking, They were strategists.
Like all over the place though. It was just like boom bang bing bang boom. Like just just from the start. Just as a reminder, last week Nate from the original Uli got voted out, and that was a big blindside. So of course we start off this episode with sort of Survivor version of funeral music, like sad music, because of the remaining Uli and Soph, or Blue Sophie, or Cool Sophie as we like to call her, are sad. Tyrion and I sad, and then everybody is immediately doing damage control from both.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's such a high to low, right? Because you thought you had it and you didn't have it, and then your guy got voted out. Now you got to go sit with people in the dark.
Well, and that's actually, you know what? That's a really good point.
Because that's all within like 20
dark.
minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like we're seeing the start of an episode at the end, and we're talking about the end of an episode, but it's all for them. I don't know how long it takes. Like, I don't know how long the walk is, and that walk back is probably pretty awkward too, right? In the dark, you know.
Yeah.
And then they got to go back and just sit in a dirty old campsite in Fiji in silence or whatever. Awkward. Right. There's a lot of awkwardness, I assume, especially with a blind side with this many people.
Well, and interestingly enough,
where it was a true blindside of like half. Yeah. It wasn't just like the person was blindsided. Yeah. There was like 5 other people blindsided as well,
which was pretty cool.
And which makes for fireworks.
Well, it is fireworks because this is basically like in the beginning, the aftermath. This is, if we were watching The Office, like the cold open, and it goes on forever before we even get like the theme music. You know what I mean? I was like, what's happening?
I thought there was a commercial like on whatever I was watching on. There was a commercial before the beginning credits, I think.
There might have been.
Because a lot of the time I write down commercial. Then then we had the credits, and then like Christina found the idol, and then we had the Survivor start.
It was pretty wild.
I think.
Like there was a lot before. Well, I watched it after the day, so there wasn't commercials, which was kind of nice.
It's like those movies where like they put the credits like 20 minutes in. Mm-hmm. You forgot there was even beginning credits. 20 minutes of movie. Next thing you know, there's credits. Bobby Lee hates that. He says it takes him out of the movie. Well,
it took me out, actually. It took me out of the show because I was like totally into it. So we have Steven. He's saying like there's been a dynamic shift. He says exactly what you said. Like the dynamics have completely shifted, frankly, on both sides. But you had a really strong Uli tribe, like, overconfidence killing them, as it does. And then, boom, they're just sunk down to the bottom of the ship, and now it's time to scramble. Sophie, Blue Sophie, is heavy damage control. I'm super impressed with her gameplay. Like, she is over talking to Steven, talking to Alex. You know, I'm not that close with, saying she's not that close with them when she was super close with them. Like, she's telling the tale.
She's the backpedal queen.
Really good. She's doing a really good. I have to say, she is very convincing.
Like, sorry, I voted that way. It was just that's what everybody else was doing. So
And that's who I was with, and I was with them for a long time, and I had to show that I was whatever, right? And then MC, and I thought this might happen, like, and this creates a lot of problems for MC, is her using that idol was a huge, huge problem. And I would argue a huge mistake on her part.
Yeah, she
That's her
doesn't understand the trust side.
No, because
where it's like you had these people that you didn't tell and then you just use it, which right away, like it's not like she used it 2 weeks later. It's like right away.
She used it, and her name was not down one time. Like he was on board with them, and then Jawan is really shining. Like his lying and his manipulative sort of like twisting the tails is really impressive. So he's talking to Rizzo and Savannah. He's got a real
intense evil face too when he's talking. Gets his eyes wide open.
Well, like it's true. And I thought it was super interesting because he's talking to Savannah and Rizzo saying, yeah, I totally work with you and blah, blah, blah. Like and then clip over to his interview, and he's like, I'll take him out in a heartbeat.
I'm cutting these people's throats. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wrote that cutthroat. Like this guy is so cutthroat. I would not have guessed that. He might be a
villain.
Good.
Is him and Sage a villain?
I don't.
They've lied so much, but I mean, I know they do these things where it makes us feel a certain way about them because they've been bullied and they're all this stuff, all these excuses for these villainous actions to try and make us feel bad for them and have sympathy and allow the villainy to happen. It's called the Breaking Bad syndrome. Okay, we all love Walter White. He was the villain. Are they villains?
Who's the villain, though? I would say
I got to give it.
Maybe. I wouldn't have said
Jawan's a villain.
Jawan's a villain. Anti-hero at worst, maybe villain.
She's a sniper.
Yeah, like I would
if she doesn't want somebody in there, it seems like they go.
Well, I would say she's an anti-hero at this point. You know what I mean? I still root for her. Jawan is so vicious. I actually root for him from a villain side because he's just so vicious. And I still like them. So we'll see. And it's a good point, Nick. Like, but it's good to have the backstory and what created the villains. Like, look at Walter White. If you go back, there was very good reason for him to become a villain. But same as like the Joker movie, you know what I mean? Like the Joker movies and stuff, like how that became.
There's reasons why he did stuff, but there's also choices he made.
Well, he made wrong choices, but we're not talking Breaking Bad, absolutely. And he became an absolute villain.
He got a haircut yesterday.
Well, he's looking very handsome. Okay, so
like
Rizzo.
Going to his grade 8 graduation.
Yeah.
Rizzo's clueless now, man. He thinks he knows what's going. This unnecessary confidence, this Andy Samberg confidence, is not helpful.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say something like that. I agree because I think he is not throwing
head in the clouds.
And not picking up what they're throwing down. And actually, I'll talk about it a little later. But MC is hip to all of that. Unfortunately, maybe a bit too late. So Savannah's doing hardcore damage control too, like hardcore, like
too much. Her eyes open too much.
Like
when you talk to somebody like this, it's a lot.
It's too intense.
Yeah. I want to work with you.
After like turning her back on them, she has a moment where
she's a villain.
Listen, she is a villain. She's good TV, and she
don't care. She's like, I'm filling you up.
Well, and even we'll talk about it a bit later, like when she tells that story, like about, I don't know, and cries and whatever. And at first I don't feel bad, and then I feel bad, and then I'm like, yeah, but she's so vicious. Like she's not. Sage for me and Jawan they came in more humble. I think maybe it's just they're more humble. They were very humble, and now they're like just the tides have turned.
I guess everybody's got their shit.
They do. So I do have a moment for Savannah, but it quickly dissipates. So Christina finds the idol, and it's nothing. She doesn't even have to do anything. It's not about where. It's nothing. It's just boom, idol. That's it.
Well, that's how they do it after, though, right?
Yeah,
once
I guess
they do the thing once, and they're just hidden now. Well, that's what they did that for years. They did that for years.
But
you know when they stopped doing that? Remember Russell?
Yeah.
He found every single idol that season.
He just kept finding them.
He must have found 5 or 6 of them in that season.
It was crazy. And he still didn't win anyway because everyone hated him so much. It's so crazy.
Well, that's why Survivor is
still going.
It's like, you can be the best, but man, if everybody hates you viscerally, you're not going to win. It's impossible.
And I think those were earlier seasons where there was a lot of sort of emotion and a lot of a weight put up upon character.
True,
You're a
but
good
even
person.
Even now, though, if you're hated that viscerally,
I don't know.
Joe wasn't hated. He was liked, right? Who won that one? Oh, it was the
no, but the guy who should have won Kyle. Kyle won, and he deserved to win. But the fact is, yeah, you're right. You can't. You have to be. Like,
there's a point, right? Like, you can look at some of the meanness and be like, okay, good strategy. But Russell was like kind of a dick, right?
Well, he was a dick. You have to be more like Sandra or even Boston Rob.
Sandra's
like
just
Sandra.
Perfectly
yeah, like she knew exactly. And honestly, Jawan is kind of doing that. And Sage.
He's a very Sandry. Yeah.
Sage. Well, it's just because we see her faces. Like, they're so. Her face, she's like two-facing them, and then right while they're still there and not looking at her, like the eye rolls are just spectacular.
You gotta be careful because she's gonna get caught.
I know she is. That's the problem. So Jawan wants Savannah gone. Totally makes sense.
Episode so much it keeps jumping.
I know, it's okay. Sage talks. So I found it interesting. Sage talking to Blue Sophie about Savannah, because like Blue Sophie was like really close with Savannah. But now she's kind of changing that tune. And that's where she says she's not attached to Savannah. And I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, they've been bosom buddy since like they sort of first connected on the tribe, and they were the only chicks on the tribe. So I don't think so. And then again, it's just power packed with just interesting. I can't even believe it. Savannah actually flat out asks Sage and Jawan what they plan to do next.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, I was like, oh my, like, so what do you think?
There needs to be more of that. You really can read somebody when you ask a direct question they don't want to answer.
Exactly. Like, they were not ready I wasn't ready for it. My mouth was gaped.
She's a reporter, man. Ask the hard questions.
So what do you plan to do with me? And then they both lie, which I think they did all right lying, and then asked her the same thing.
Yeah.
They just bullshitted. And I think they actually didn't do too bad of a job, and then they turned it on her, which I don't know if she expected that either, and she just did the same bullshit. So I was like, I don't know how effective she was. And that's when we get sort of the crying from her, and she kind of tells the story of how she was like cut out at work and whatever.
I want to point out a beautiful quote Savannah made before the crying thing, or maybe it was after. Okay, we're talking about Sage, and I like both of these players, so I'm not taking sides.
I actually like Savannah too, because she's good.
She's bold.
TV.
She's bold.
I like Sage better, though.
I don't know. But Savannah saying that Sage acting like a victim all the time, even though she's holding a knife, is getting thin. And that was such an apt, because she is the sniper right now. The last two votes, it was like her.
But you know what? Yeah, and that's true. But I think, and I heard that, and I took it in. I did take that one. I recall that. And I was just more like, true. Because Savannah's finally hip to, I think, the fact that Sage is a sniper.
Yeah,
she used to think she was dumb, because I think Sage is just, I mean, she's acting a victim, but not like it's an act. I don't think Sage believes she's a victim. I don't think she's acting like she's hard done by. She's playing a role in front of Savannah because she doesn't trust her. So maybe successfully. But yeah, like, valid. It's a valid comment, but I think the act is just an act. I don't think Sage thinks she's a victim at all.
Lay down.
In fact. But that's just my opinion. And then she kind of tells Steven the story of her getting iced out at work. And I did have a moment, and I did feel bad for her. But like, my problem with her, and I actually kind of sat back and looked at why I didn't respond so upset on her behalf as I did for Sage. And it's just because of how her Savannah's coping mechanisms coming in this are like, she is harsh and kind of mean girl and only likes you when she's trying to get something from you. And whereas Sage, I think, there's a truth to her outcast and sort of she came in more humble, in my opinion, and then turned the tides and then just played up that. So I was just trying to figure out, like, why am I not responding? Like, when she was really crying and telling the story, like, I've had work issues and stuff in my life, or have been iced out, or, you know, what she talked about, like, I could picture it when she described it. So I did have a moment, actually. I'm like, that's pretty shitty. But her defense mechanism is to be hard, which again, I kind of understand, but I have more empathy with a softer approach, I guess. And that's just me. So, but I thought it was interesting.
Well, the dynamics changes again. We got a challenge.
Yes, we do.
And this is very interesting.
It is.
Wall balance, small step thing. I don't know how to explain it.
It's foothold. So it's like they're in like door frames kind of things, structures.
Yeah, it's like
And then they
like
have,
this?
yeah, it's just a structure. And then they have just like little footholds that they have to, but that gets thinner and thinner every like whatever it is, 5 minutes or
5 minutes until the last one. They just stay there until everybody's out.
And this is crazy because I've never seen this particular twist in the way they did it. They go into two groups. Like I've seen them do this, but this whole episode I think is unique because this is a very unique twist to the challenge, and then there's another unique twist. So basically they divide them randomly into groups of 5. The winning group doesn't go to tribal at all, and then they get the meal, like they get the merge meal or a reward, pardon me. And then the group that loses, they go to a separate island, so they're not even able to strategize with their colleagues, like their survivor colleagues, and they vote one person out. So it's just 5 of them, and they choose who to vote out, which is crazy. And essentially, whoever lasts the longest gets the advantage, and then the person gets an advantage, and
as
the
well
winning
as immunity.
Yeah. And then there's another one, we'll get to the advantage. So I think that describes it. So the teams are Rizzo, Sage, MC, Jawan, and Sophie. And then team 2 is Savannah, Steven, Christina, Soph, and Alex. And it comes down to a head-to-head or a whatever, oh my God, why are words? I haven't had a drink. Like a face-off or a standoff or a showdown. That's the word, showdown. Showdown of Sophie versus Savannah.
And the crazy thing is they're both on separate sides or whatever, both on a separate 5. Because it could be a showdown between 2 people on the same side because only one person can get immunity, but a whole side gets the meal and well, I guess they all get it. Wait.
No, just the side that wins. So Savannah and the 4 other folks who are on her team, Savannah wins, but they did some dramatic.
But only 5 people technically are going to tribal council, right?
Yes.
So it's interesting that they didn't think something was up with giving somebody individual immunity. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, because everybody's got immunity.
Yeah. But then
they gave individual immunity to Savannah.
Well, I guess you could argue that so jumping ahead, the advantage.
Now, we understand with the advantage, but you'd almost think, what's up with that? But
well, yeah, that's right. There was no immunity necklace and there was no immunity idol at the challenge.
Presented.
So what happens is once they go back to camp for their deli sandwich fiesta, Savannah goes to Tree Mill and she actually gets like individual immunity and gets to go. Well, this is crazy though. She gets to go to tribal with immunity, which makes sense that they didn't do it there, I guess, because no one was going to go, so it didn't matter, right? No one was going to go to tribal from that team.
I wonder if he even mentioned individual immunity. Like, I'd have to watch it again, or did he even mention the advantage of the last person? Because what would have happened if 2 people on the same side were still there? We would have been like, well, there's an advantage to whoever wins. Yeah, anyway, it didn't happen that way, but it's just interesting.
Well, this whole thing, this is new. Like, this is pretty new. So she gets an individual immunity. She gets to go to tribal, and and not just go to tribal. She goes to the camp where the losing team is. So she gets to be involved in the strategizing, and that throws them off, obviously. And she gets to choose whether or not she can vote at this, or she can save the vote for later. What? Right?
Yeah, nobody else knows that.
Shenanigans, crazy shenanigans. So we've got Rizzo, Sage, MC, Jawan, and Sophie. Immediately, they're like, Sophie's, let's say, blue Sophie, or yellow Sophie? I don't know. Sophie's like, okay, guys, like, it's got to be, who's it going to be? Rizzo. It's got to be Rizzo. So here's the problem, too. So there's 4 people on that tribe who are ostensibly working together. Rizzo is the odd person out, but Rizzo has an immunity idol. So the plan is, let's trick Rizzo to thinking that we're all voting for Sophie and he doesn't use his idol, and then we blindside him, which good plan if you could pull it off. It's a pretty tricky one to pull off. But when you have Savannah showing up, that's throwing them off. And then you have Sophie telling MC that she's going to put one vote on
Jawan.
On Jawan, and then MC to curry favor or to earn back trust tells Jawan, and this just blows this whole plan to smithereens, frankly. Because of course Sage goes, I think, doesn't Sage go and tell Sage goes and talks to Sophie? Like, it's bananas.
They just changed plans so many times.
20,000 times. And I was like, I had no idea. By the time we go over, like, I'm like, I have no concept of who's even going home, what is happening. Like, it's just absolute and utter chaos. Couple other notes I will make. I think MC is super perceptive because she's the one when she's talking to Sophie, when MC and Sophie are having like just a one-on-one chat about everything going on after everything blew up, MC's like, I feel, and they were talking about voting out MC at this point, right? Because it's crazy. And I just found it interesting that MC calls her out and says, what's going on? This feels weird. Like this energy. And then later talks about how like Rizzo is too cocky. Like he'd be a good one to get out right now because he's so cocky. Because, you know, spoiler alert, he doesn't play as idol. But I think let's go to tribal because then it's the most exciting tribal we have had all fucking season.
People are getting up, talking to each other, figuring stuff out. I mean, yeah. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, do you know what's also interesting? What was being, I hope that they go into what the heck was being said. Like, I really want to know what was being said because essentially, who is it? MC gets up, she pulls Jawan, they talk to Rizzo, and then I think like Sage talks to Rizzo or to whatever. Like, everyone talks to everyone except no one talks to Sophie. So now Sophie's in a panic. And then I don't know who, someone goes over and talks to Sophie. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know who's going home.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what's going on.
Had no idea. I had no idea. I thought it might be Sophie.
Fun.
It was so fun. And then it turns out clean sweep. They send home MC.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I don't know why Rizzo was the choice to me.
Yeah, strategically, it was, in my opinion, it was a mistake.
Like, I think this is for me the first real crack or not super strong move on the side of like Jawan and Sage. Because I'm like, why would MC is aligned with you guys? She ratted out Sophie immediately. Why are you getting rid of her? Like, she's trustworthy. I get that she didn't tell you about the idol. Fine. Like, that's a forgivable offense when she's given you such a big secret.
Because the problem is, I guess, though, when somebody does have an immunity idol, everybody else is at risk. So
she was the sacrifice.
If Rizzo wasn't there, it probably would have been her. Because of the idol thing. So I think that's the reasoning is let's just play it safe. We still have the numbers when we get back to camp. Maybe.
Yeah, true.
Depending on how offended people are about getting MC out. I don't know. Well, MC wasn't great at challenges. MC wasn't really strategizing a lot to me. And she didn't have an idol. Like it didn't make sense other than that. Just being real safe.
It was Sophie would have been a better choice then.
100%. I would take her out.
Sophie came in second. Like, she won the first immunity challenge. She was like moments from getting this one. She's not super trustworthy. She threw Joanne's name out. Like, I don't understand. MC doesn't make sense to me. MC, you can take her along. She's trustworthy now, especially again, Sage and Jawan. So I don't know. I think we might see sort of a little crack there because I don't know that was the greatest plan, but we'll see. Great episode.
But she gone.
Yeah, she's gone. So, and she, you know, I actually wrote down they should have voted Rizzo, like, because he is so cocky. Like, they could, anyway. Right. So, great episode. Anything else? Did I miss anything? It was a lot of just strategizing and a lot of chaos.
No, it was good. It was a good one.
It was fun, though. A lot of just seeing how well people like acclimate to new situations and like I really did dig the new twist because we haven't seen one quite formulated that way. So well done, Survivor design team.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, okay. Keeps them on our toes.
Yeah, it keeps us on our toes as viewers as well. Awesome. Okay. I guess we can finish up. So thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe over here at the Self Reality Podcast. Share, like, give us your comments. Did you like the episode as much as we did? What did you think? Who should they have voted out? While you're at it, though, go on over to the Dirty Glass Podcast, Booze Reviews for the Unrefined, and K-Babe Wrestling Talk with Handsome Nick Hanlon and Matthew Barnaby, where they talk about wrestling the way it should be talked about or something to that effect.
Yep.
Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you. Bye.